Completing your TSEDA self-audit. The self-audit is your first tool in TSEDA, and it helps you to think about your current educational dialogue practice. You'll see some statements asking you to think about what dialogue looks like in your setting at the moment. On the left-hand side of the screen, there are some statements asking about what you do in your practice at the moment, and on the right, you'll see some statements which are around your setting's dialogue culture. For each statement, give yourself a rating in the rating column. If something rarely happens in your setting, put a number 1. If it sometimes happens, put a number 2. And if it usually happens, put a number 3. Do this for each statement. Remember, your self-audit is only for you to think about your current dialogue practice. The aim is to help you to think about where you might like to focus your inquiry. This is an example of some statements where the practitioner has given herself a rating, although you can see that she values student talk in her lessons, and it usually happens in her setting. This might mean she often invites students to contribute in group discussions, welcomes a range of views to be shared, and encourages learners to comment on each other's contributions. The last statement, encourage learners to be responsible for their own learning, she's given herself a rating of 1. Completing the self-audit helped her to realise that although she valued student talk highly, she wasn't always confident enough to allow children to be responsible for their own learning and their own dialogue, which meant there was still a lot of practitioner talk in her class. Going forward, she could use dialogue to encourage students to make their reasoning explicit or to ask questions of each other. She used this to form the basis of her inquiry. When you've completed your self-audit, you should have a better idea about what you'd like your inquiry into educational dialogue to focus on.